me! I can't breathe.
These are the desperate pleas of 57-year-old Barbara Dawson.
Please put your hand. Don't let me down here.
All recorded on police dash cam video.
No, hurt me like this.
Now many want to know how these cries for help could have been ignored, with tragic consequences. Last December, Barbara Dawson was admitted to Calhoun Liberty Hospital in Blountstown, Florida, for abdominal pains. Several hours later, she was discharged, but still complained of shortness of breath. Dawson refused to leave, and then hospital workers called the cops to have her removed from the premises. Officer John Tadlock responded to the call.
You need to leave my room and get on out of here, because see, I'm ready feeling sick.
A few minutes later, Officer Tadlock removed Dawson's oxygen hose.
Let's take this off.
You can't take that off.
I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, ma'am.
You gotta leave me alone. Leave me alone. I can't even breathe.
Officer Tadlock proceeded to arrest Dawson for disorderly conduct and trespassing.
Wait!
Dawson, please put your hands behind your back. Please stop.
I can't breathe.
You seem to be breathing okay right
No,
now.
I can't. Help me. Y'all help me. Help me. Oh, I can't breathe.
Once outside, things went from bad to disastrous. Barbara Dawson collapsed and fell to the ground. Officer Tadlock didn't seem to be buying it.
Stop falling down like this and laying down. That's not going to stop you from going to jail.
Hospital staff didn't seem to believe Dawson either.
Miss Dawson, get up. There's nothing wrong with you.
But the doctor who discharged her came out to assess the situation.
This is totally different than what she was when I was discharging her.
20 more minutes passed. Dawson was returned on a stretcher.
She's just dead weight.
Tragically, just an hour after the ordeal began, Barbara Dawson died of a blood clot in her lungs. Officer John Tadlock was cleared of any wrongdoing in the death of Barbara Dawson. He has since resigned. And 3 hospital staffers have been fired for their handling of Dawson's care. But it's no consolation for Barbara Dawson's family. They are outraged and have vowed to not go down without a fight.
This really is such a sad story. Here with me to discuss this case is the attorney representing the Dawson family, a man you may remember from several high-profile cases, including the Trayvon Martin case, attorney Ben Crump. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Can you give us an update on where the case stands now?
Currently, the Agency for Healthcare Administration in the state of Florida has recently released investigative findings, Matt, that found 10 egregious deficiencies with the Calhoun Liberty Hospital.
So will the family be actually moving forward and filing a suit against the police, against the hospital?
The Dawson family is weighing all their legal options as they wait for the completion of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement's investigation. But you can expect the lawsuit will be filed to speak to this obvious injustice.
Let's talk about that particular audio. At one point she says, "Please do not let me die."
Don't let me down here.
Did it surprise you that then, outside the hospital, that the medical staff didn't take further action?
Yeah, and she's there for almost 20 minutes. She's passed out, literally unconscious, and you hear the nurse saying, "We know you're faking."
Miss Dawson, get up. There's nothing wrong with you.
They don't do any medical diagnosis or treatment of her, and that's what the reports found. So our law firm now has sworn statements that were given to the police by hospital personnel that contradict one another. You know, the 3 people who were terminated said that they checked her vitals and that she was fine while she was out there. Well, other hospital personnel have said that they did not check her vitals and that she wasn't breathing. So now we have, for the first time officially, documented that they're contradicting one another.
How would you describe those final moments?
Matt, imagine if this was your loved one, if this was your sister or brother or your mother, and they went to the hospital to get medical care. And this is the kind of care they gave them. In all my years of practice in law, this is one of the most shocking cases of medical negligence I've ever seen. It is inhumane when you hear the responses that they're giving her as she's begging, literally begging for her life.
Y'all help me! Help me!
Imagine what she's thinking about, Matt. These are the people who are supposed to help me.
Let me say that our thoughts are well and truly with the Dawson family. Thank you, Attorney Crump, for coming in and for talking with me today.
Thank you, Matt, for covering this important case.
Thank you. And for more information about this case, you can visit our website, that is crimewatchdaily.com.